from what might be our new championship contender.
The JackJumpers are struggling to repeat their heroics from last season. Really looking forward to seeing how Tasmania respond to last week's game. Milton Doyle has come to play, ladies and gentlemen. The sword comes up big, drives his way through, and he's unstoppable right now.
NBL action returns to My State Bank Arena for the first time in over a month as top of the table New Zealand come in to face Tassie. The JackJumpers were game on Friday in a defeat to Perth, while New Zealand is red hot, having beaten championship hopefuls in their past three. And for the fans, it's a chance to again cheer their team on with NBL action here for the first time in 34 days. There's our Game Time by Kmart ball delivery. 10-year-old Grace Pryor, we thank Kmart for their support of the Game Time program within schools right around Australia. Joel Peterson, Liam Santamaria, Leonard Copeland with you. Kelsey Brown is courtside. Our Mitsubishi Motors ladder, Liam. It is first and last. Is it quite that simple?
Well, look, it is first versus last. Exciting to see the Breakers again after what they've done the last couple of weeks. But Tassie, you know, they're the defending champs. They showed some good signs on Thursday night, and they're back on their home floor, so anything can happen.
They're a different prospect at home generally, Leonard Copeland. They're a different prospect when this man, Milton Doyle, is up and firing. Had a season-best 30 on Friday against the Cats.
No doubt, 6 career three-pointers, played extremely well, but he needs to get himself going. He knows that. His shooting percentage has been down this year, 33%, so pretty low. But once he starts firing, the other guys will get behind him. Now, the problem is sometimes he doesn't shoot. He needs to get it up, Liam. As an import, I'm taking 20 to 25 shots, and I think if he gets himself going, the other guys will come aboard.
It's so important to see him back and going. There is Jordan Crawford, of course. He's been the other focal point of the Tasmania offense, and we've got a match-up of our little big men. Shout out to Damon Lowry. Him and Parker Jackson-Cartwright is going to be fascinating.
Yeah, this is going to be fun to watch. These two tiny little point guards, but super fast, and both have big-time games. You see the 14 points a game from Jordan Crawford, but sub 40% from the field, sub 30% from three. So he's been very up and down, but Parker Jackson-Cartwright, on the other hand, has been brilliant. I mean, he's the MVP of the league right now. If you were to hand out the Andrew Gaze Trophy, at this point, it would go to PJC. He's doing it in so many ways. He can get to the rim as he turns the corner, he can pull up and knock it down, and he can distribute. He's third in the league in scoring, first in assists, third in steals. What he's doing defensively is sliding a little under the radar. Having a huge season, and he's a big problem to solve for the JackJumpers.
He was a light blue blur last time out. Let's hope we can see more of that tonight. One of his running mates has been Karim Lopez, who's been super impressive in his last few games and just keeps getting better and better.
Well, I'm glad you brought him up, Joel, because our man Karim Lopez, the 17-year-old star of the future from Mexico, has been playing at a really high level. There's the last 3 games, boys. The historic double-double, youngest ever in the NBL to do it in Sydney. 17-7 against Adelaide, and then he backed that up with 17-10 and a full line in that big win at John Cain Arena. Really high percentages too. You put all that together, he's averaging 16 and 9 over his last 3. And what I really like, and you can see it in these clips, he's delivering some grown man business. For a teenager, he's growing up against veterans, and he's giving them the business. So let's see if he can keep that humming tonight.
Yeah, he's so mature, it's like he was born in a cellar, Lopez. Let's get down to Kelsey Brown, who is courtside. Evening, Kels.
Welcome, guys. It's so good to be back here at My State Bank Arena. Another sellout for Tasmania JackJumpers tonight. Vibe check, the vibes are high. I can feel that they are going to be super loud. In injury news, Mitch McCarron gets welcomed back for the New Zealand Breakers tonight after that knee injury. He plays game 250. And for Tasmania, well, Will Magnay, he still sits out for his 3rd game with that shoulder injury. Word from Tassie is that he will continue to next week, but I think it's something to keep an eye on in the coming weeks.
Yeah, absolutely it is. They'd love to have him out there, Will Magnay. And not having him out there, Leonard, is a bit of a problem for them because Sam Menenga's been in red-hot form for New Zealand.
He's been on fire, 13 points, 5 rebounds a game at 50%. And the best thing about him is he goes inside. He can shoot it from the outside. I don't know who can guard him with his size. With no Magnay, they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, he's part of that New Zealand starting lineup, of course. Sam Menenga, Karim Lopez out there, Parker Jackson-Cartwright, Matt Mooney and Jonah Bolden, who had double-digit rebounds last time out, and that lineup's been getting it done for Pettery Coppinen in their last few games. And for Tassie, well, Scott Roth made a change on Friday. Part of it has been forced with the Magnay injury in the last couple, Liam, but he's rolling with what worked at least in the first half on Friday.
They put 51 on the board in that first half, so you've got to be happy with that. No Will Magnay leaves a big hole. Fabian Krislovic will step in and man the middle, but you know, he's not Will Magnay. On the flip side, Clint Steindl, man, he's been shooting it well. 43% from 3 since round 4. So look for them to run some plays for Steindl early and often.
Yeah, it was around about the time that he got moved into that starting lineup to try and provide them a little bit of floor spacing. And they might just get that done. You were saying, Leonard, you're pretty keen on maybe Tassie in this game.
Let me tell you something. Just because they're in last place, don't count them out. They're at home. The crowd is crazy. You know, Joe, we've been down there.
Yep.
That crowd is a 6-man for them. They get going early, they can get this win.
So don't count them out, or they're going to get this
They're
win?
going to get this win, Liam. I'm not afraid to say it.
Is that a bold prediction?
That is a Super Bowl prediction.
Super Bowl,
I
underline.
must say, I've been pretty wrong with most of my bold predictions.
And you haven't been very bold, let's be honest. New Zealand with the ball to start us off. First game in 34 days here in Hobart. The Breakers 1-5 in this venue, but they've won 4 of their past 5 against Tassie overall. Of course, both of these teams in their NBL Indigenous round designs. Crawford with the steal. That's a nice way to get us started.
Really good start. You've got to love the pressure, the ball pressure, results in the turnover, and the Jack Jumper fans still on their feet.
We know scoring has been a problem for them. It hasn't necessarily been their starts that have been a problem, though. They haven't been really lethargic out of the blocks in a lot of their games, and Friday was a really good example of that.
They look great in Perth. I mean, shot the ball extremely well. Again, Milton Doyle caught fire, and I keep saying if he's going or if Crawford's going, the other guys, you know, the other guys step up and get the job done.
Do you think Milton might have got a little bit of advice? A couple of people telling him to shoot the ball a bit
I know
more,
I told him. I know I mentioned to him, hey, bro, as an import, you got to let that thing fly.
Speaking of letting it fly, Sam Menenga's been doing just that.
Wow. Man, it's what makes Sam Menenga such a difficult cover. He's big, he's strong, he can get things done around the hoop, but his stroke is pure from long range.
He's 3 of 4 on Monday, Cup Eve against Melbourne. He's filling it up. Tarangi, a little bit strong on that one, and Parker Jackson Cartwright in there with the fast hands. Mooney running the floor, gets to the corner. Back out to PJC. Money from outside.
Can I take that prediction back?
Oh, come on, man.
It's early. Just kidding. Oh, wow.
They shot at 66% against Melbourne last time out, New Zealand, and they started at 100%. 2 threes on the Amy replay.
Unselfish from the Breakers. The kick ahead doesn't quite have it. Loses his footing, Matt Mooney. Parker Jackson Cartwright wide open on the arc.
10 of 31 now on the season is PJC from outside.
Would you say, Liam, he's playing better this year than he did last year?
I think so. And let's not forget, like, he was right there in that MVP count last season. He was spectacular, but I think he's gone to another level this time around.
Krislovic gives it up to Doyle. One rattles out. As Coach said, Milton Doyle, 6 3-pointers on Friday night against Perth. Mooney drops it inside for Bolden. Can't finish, but Lopez on the follow.
That is a grown man dunk. He caught it with the one hand and just smashed it. What's going on here? Need to see some. Let me see a passport, man. See if he's really 17.
Come on, Coach. I've seen it.
Okay. Wow.
Liam can verify the documentation for us. So an 8-0 run after Tassie got the first bucket, courtesy of this man. That one will count.
Good take. This is the matchup we talked about pre-game. PJC scores down the other end a couple of possessions ago. Little push and shove going here as a result.
Little
Crawford is up for the fight.
It's push and shove. They're just both little.
Yeah, that's right. He's got to throw the little in there every time.
So Crawford's got all 4 for Tassie. He's got past PJC a couple of times on these last couple of possessions.
I reckon if anything's going to get him going, Crawford going, it'd be against the best small man in the league.
Well, you know how this goes, Copes. It would have been exactly the same thing for you, guys in your position. A guy like Parker Jackson Cartwright rolls into your arena. He plays your position. He's getting all the buzz. You're up for that battle.
Absolutely. Absolutely you are. If you can't get fired up for this one, something's wrong.
See on the screen, Perth and Melbourne coming up at John Cain Arena, 8 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. So first of a doubleheader on your Saturday night this evening. Doubleheader to come tomorrow, South East Melbourne Cairns and Adelaide and Illawarra to round us out in round 8. First half of Indigenous round in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Who was that for you, Copes? Who was that, Willie Farley? Who got you fired up like that?
It would have been Willie Farley, would have been Simon Curl, those guys that are coming in, talking a little trash.
Lopez pushing the pace off the rebound. Can't finish, but he's fouled.
He loves a little one-handed Dr. J move, doesn't he?
Little Dr. J?
Little Dr. J where he gets to the floor.
Yeah.
To the rim with one hand.
Well, he has the ability with huge hands. The big wingspan, the 7-foot-plus wingspan, but the huge hands as well to control that thing and keep it away from the defense.
How big of hands are we talking here? You would have shaken his hand. How big are we talking?
I mean, how much bigger than huge do you want? Humongous?
Real dinner plate type action.
You see that on the last dunk he had. He caught it with one hand and pushed it down.
And he loves that, but he really does love extending that right arm particularly. Can't get the first free throw to go.
Free throws have been a little Achilles heel for him in his short NBL career thus far, but 10 of 13 from the stripe in that win over Melbourne last week.
Calmly knocks that one down to avoid giving away burgers. 19 of 29 on the season from the free throw line. Early 7-point lead to the Breakers. Great to have you with us. Joel Peterson, Liam Santamaria, Leonard Copeland, and Kelsey Brown, your call team. Crawford left alone. Can't make the pay. Bolden came right over the top of Krislovich using him like a stepladder.
That's a great crash. I love the physicality that Bolden's playing with at the moment. Comes in over the top here, launches himself at the ball like he's a centre-half forward. He's had 7 or more rebounds in each of his last 3 games. Now, Tassie get this back as a result of the contact, but I like the way he's getting on, he's getting in the paint and he's getting involved around the rim, Jonah Bolden.
And last year was mostly, he did a lot of scoring last year, but this year he's doing all the dirty work, rebounding, dialing up the balls, being that enforcer that they sort of need.
Touch of the rock for Heath O'Loughlin, courtside.
He's everywhere, isn't he? This man's just traveling all over the world.
You got a good spot right there.
Ding in the corner, knocks it down.
Well, you love that for Tassie, because they're going to need someone like Majuk Deng stepping up and putting points on the board.
He's quiet on Friday night. And here's Jonah Bolden at the other end. So he's crashing the boards at one end and getting it done at the other. Jonah Bolden hands New Zealand back a 7-point lead at the Tangerine timeout.
Scott Roth wants to have a little bit of a chat. The push in transition. Yes, Jonah Bolden knocks down the 3, but nobody stops the ball. You sink in the defense as a result. Easy penetrate and pitch and a catch and shoot 3.
So Bolden's been productive. Karim Lopez has again been busy in the early stages here. Here's what Petteri Koppinen had to say about the youngster pre-game.
I think he improved a lot during these 3 months. First, when he came, you can see he never played at this level, and you can say there was those plays off. He wasn't there, he wasn't present on the court. But now, step by step, he's picking up. And last games, he's been unbelievable, defensively, offensively, with his length. He changed some things, especially the space what he can cover, and then offensively, you go from there. You get the confidence, and a huge part why we had these 3 wins.
I mean, I always believe in myself. I started a little slow, but I just kept working, and now I'm playing a little better. I'm just trying to continue with that and just trying to get a W tonight.
I want to talk about Coach Kopp. He's new to the league and a new coach for you. What does he instill in you, and what confidence has he given you?
Oh, he's great. He's great for me because since day one, he's just trying to put me to be as good as I can, and just every day, even if things were not going the right way, he was just pushing me and trying to get me better. And giving me the confidence, and that's been a great part, a big part.
He's doing a good job of it as well. Karim Lopez has been terrific, and so has the first-year New Zealand coach. He's marshalling his troops well at the moment. Doyle. Steindl whips it out to Crawford, puts the moves on Mooney, who poked it loose. Didn't give up on the play.
Well, Bolden looks like he's turned an ankle.
Just dropped it off and didn't come back, Jonah Bolden. Doyle on the take. He had it poked loose again. Menenga dives on the floor. Krizlovic dives on him. And Jonah Bolden is going straight up the tunnel.
That was a wild couple of possessions. And Bolden has come up worse for wear. Striding his way to the bucket. Here you see it on the replay. Keep a look at that right foot. Oh, bang. Fully turn over. But he's sore.
So not good news for Jonah Bolden. No doubt Kelsey will keep an eye on that. Just over under 4 minutes played here in this one. Doyle driving his way inside. Can't finish. Again, it's good defense from Lopez. It's going back the other way.
A big challenge for the youngster. Guarding a guy like Milton Doyle, star of this league.
So 14-7, let's get to Kelsey Brown.
If you could see the look on Scott Roth's face right now, that's what it looked like in that huddle as well. He said, what are we doing? We're 10 feet off our men. No surprises. He also said they're crashing the boards way harder than us.
Thanks, Kels. Scott Roth picks up a behaviour warning, and you didn't need to be a liberator to understand why. See Jonah Bolden back on the bench as well. You talk about the defense of Karim Lopez, though, Len. That looks like especially in the last couple of games, the area that's really been on display. A couple of block shots using his length. Gets it to Mooney there, and Mooney cashes in.
They are just on fire. And you know, they've spoken a lot about confidence. When you're in first place and you go on the road, it's you against the world. The way they shoot the ball, the way they play against each other, or for each other, it's just magical.
4 of 4 from outside to start the Breakers. 5 of 6 from the field overall. Crawford with the step back, and the three.
Playing really well. Jordan Crawford getting up to Parker Jackson Cartwright, full court, working him in the backcourt, and then at the offensive end, he's got a game-high 7 in the early going.
Get that little bit of a spark, doesn't he? Bit of a fire lit under him. Mooney looking for Menenga inside. Crawford whips it to Steindl, and Steindl doesn't miss.
Great pass from Crawford. Looking like he's coming up the top, high screen, swings that ball to the corner. Steindl lets it go.
Rookie mistake from the young fella. Okay, you haven't been in this league all that long. You're on the split line. You just can't come off Clint Steindl quite that much. He's a knockdown three-point shooter.
He's made a living out of that is for sure. So Breakers with the early advantage, 17-13. The matchup between PJC and Jordan Crawford was going to be so critical coming into this one. Peter Copeland caught up with Kelsey Brown pre-game to talk about that.
Reason why you have a lot of the wins is Parker Jackson Cartwright. He comes up against Jordan Crawford tonight. Two little men who have a lot of speed. How do you see that matchup?
Well, you know, one of the biggest keys for the game. You know, Jordan Crawford. You know, both plays, you know, similar ways. You could try to get to those spots, use their speed to open the advantages for themselves, for them team, you know, teammates. But you know, I hope we're gonna win that matchup tonight, and it's one of the big, you know, battles for tonight.
PJC, he's an unbelievable player, one of the best in the league. Do you think he's the best player in the league, and what does he sort of instill in you as well?
Yes, best player in the league by far.
That's funny.
That's good stuff from Karim. I'm not sure whether he was trying to see whether he was there or he wasn't when he said that. Must be a joy for a big man to play with someone like Parker Jackson Cartwright.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to look after your point guard, right, guys?
100%, bro. That's my best friend, the guy who handles the ball.
Good business decision. Bairstow gets it to the point guard on this occasion. Anticevic out there for the Breakers as well now. So too Gillespie. Baby Hook will fall for him.
There's another guy who's been playing well for the Breakers, coming in off the bench. He was huge in that win over Adelaide, shutting down Montrezl Harrell, league leader in blocks, and a clean early finish for him at the rim.
Crawford doesn't get the bounce. Gorjok Gack with some early minutes. The ball's going against Gack.
Sorry, Gillespie is not trying to do too much. He just comes in and gives you what he can. Rebounding, he plays good defense. He dives after the loose balls. And that's why he'll have a spot on that team.
A little bit of pressure up the floor here from Tassie, just trying to disrupt this New Zealand rhythm. Lakers have been in control through the early stages after Tassie scored the opening bucket of the game. Lopez down low, he's fouled. And he will head to the line once more.
Strong finish from Lopez. Drimic bemused. He felt like he was vertical with that contest. Good find from Gillespie. Lopez has the size advantage. Completely vertical, soft whistle, and one for Lopez.
He's so big, though, his size, it's hard to guard a guy like that because even though you're in his face, he's so much taller and so much longer, and he has that 7-foot wingspan. You're never going to block a shot.
He's the leading scorer on the floor at the moment, Karim Lopez. 6 points, 2 of 2 from the field. Couple of rebounds as well. And an assist to go with it. 9-point lead to the Breakers. Drimic, Deng, Gack, Doyle, Sword, the 5 for Tassie. Sword coming across, lost it. Bairstow called for the foul. Won't count for Drimic.
Well, Craig Sword, that's someone they'd love to be getting some production from at the offensive end, of course. Brought in as a defensive energy guy. Jackson Cartwright checks out, but, you know, they need some scoring from him as well. Had a donut in Perth. This is his second donut in his last 3 games. Got to get him going.
10.5 minutes on Friday. Gorjok Gack underneath, goes up strong.
Short pass from Milton Doyle. Being aggressive, getting to the basket and dropping it off.
Game number 50 in the NBL for Gorjok. Former Bullet and Southeast Melbourne player. Seven-point Breakers lead. 3 on the shot clock. Lopez outside, has it swatted by Sword.
A great recovery from Sword.
That's an outstanding closeout. And you can close out hard because the shot clock's running down. There's no time to shot fake and attack there for Lopez. So Sword flies and sends it away.
Just wait, reviewing the 24. Reviewing the 24.
Here, Michael Owen saying they're just checking how long he's on the shot clock here. Breakers won't have a great deal of time.
Shot clock will be 1.2.
How long was that break for Parker Jackson Cartwright?
1.2, 1.1 seconds. He went to the bench and came right back.
A full shot clock's worth of rest. That's how Petteri Koppanen's been managing him, keeping him out there for as long as he can. Lob pass toward Bairstow, and Gack got a hand in. Wondered where their shot protection, their rim protection might come from without Magnay. They're finding answers. Deng no good. Gillespie controls the glass. Anticevic, no hesitation from Grant Anticevic.
I love the way they play. Find the open man, take the open shot. It's simple, simple game.
He's 4 of 4 from deep across his last couple of games. Shooting the ball really well. He's the big man. Deng leaves that one short.
Let's go, huddle up top, please. Thank you. Let's go.
Well, he's playing his role perfectly, Anticevic. You know, you've got scorers and playmakers like Jackson Cartwright and Mooney. The ball's going to be in their hands. You've got screeners and rollers like Menenga and Gillespie. You need some guys that are going to be able to space the floor. Don't get cute with it. Space out, catch and shoot, knock that thing down.
We saw him a couple of years ago, Copes, in the Southeast Melbourne colours. He went over, played in Germany for a couple of seasons, really improved himself, got some run in some really good competition there, and he's come back to the NBL a far more developed player.
Absolutely, and that's what it takes. You need to play. I mean, yes, it's okay to be on a team, but you need the experience. You need to be on the floor playing against different talent and proving that he can play.
Certainly doing that at the moment for a New Zealand team that is proving that no one should be counting them out. Sword now guarding Parker Jackson Cartwright. PJC out there with Bairstow, Anticevich, Moody and Gillespie. No Mitch McCarron as yet in game 250. Gillespie underneath. Can't finish. Tassie can just chip away at this lead a little bit more as we tick under 2 minutes to play in this opening frame. First game in 34 days here at My State Bank Arena. Foul on Gack as he's coming through.
Did a good job there, Tassie. I know you're going to like this, coach, of putting pressure on Parker Jackson Cartwright at the defensive end. They get the switch and they roll the big down low with, and Parker Jackson Cartwright was caught on Majuk Deng down there. They had to switch out of that, and then he gets caught on Gack. Go at Jackson Cartwright and challenge him at the defensive end.
100%, man. Most players who are offensive-minded and score the ball don't have to worry about playing defense because your job is to try to stop them from scoring. But go at him, put the pressure on him, get him in foul trouble. He's sitting on the sideline watching.
Gack Switzer at the line, 3 of 8 there this season. Tisevich on the block. Moody from the corner.
Oh dear.
High degree of difficulty, couldn't get it to go. You get the sense it's just the kind of contest Scott Rothard absolutely relish. To go deep into his kit bag and pull out a strategy, try and find some kind of answer, and that's sloppy.
It was sloppy. Frustrating because they were building a little momentum. That's some good Gorjok Gack minutes here right now. He's giving him something on the interior, getting some work done on the glass, and providing an option close to the rim.
Doyle takes a seat. Scored yet after 30 on Friday, 0 of 2 from the field. Tisevich thought about it. Back to PJC. Inside, Menenga on Deng. Good wall up. Great defense from the JackJumpers. And it'll go back their way.
That's great defense. As soon as that ball goes in, choke him. Don't let him make that pass out.
So 56 seconds remaining in this first period. Joel Peterson, Liam Santamaria, Leonard Copeland and Kelsey Brown with your first leg of a Saturday night doubleheader in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Tassie down by 7. New Zealand's led by as many as 10 in this opening frame. Crawford on Jackson Cartwright, spinning inside. That is gorgeous.
Oh, that's nice. That is nice. And he's being aggressive. He's going at PJC, making PJC play some defense on him and not focus just on his offense.
Mooney wound a bit of time down before he inbounded the ball, so 2.5 seconds between the shot and the game clock. Jackson Cartwright might want a little bit of his own back. Goes to the corner for Bairstow instead. Crafty reverse finish.
Unselfish from PJC.
Crawford now. Doesn't get the shot off before quarter time. Tasmania clawed back into that margin as we end the first. It's New Zealand in Hobart who lead 27-20 at the end of 1.
squad and the champions here on a Saturday night of My State Bank Arena. Don't forget to turn up and switch to Solstice, proud partners in the Solstice Jump Squad.
Some sweet shooting in the opening frame down in Hobart. Nenga, Parker Jackson, Cartwright, couple of Mitsubishi threes. The Breakers 5 of 7 from outside. Tassie 3 of 6. It's New Zealand who lead by 7 at quarter time. 27-20. Saturday hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Joel Peterson, Liam Santa Maria, Leonard Copeland with you. Kelsey Brown was listening to Scott Roth at quarter time. Kels.
Happy with how that first quarter went, which was interesting to me. But on the New Zealand Breakers side of things, I do have an update on Jonah Bolden. It is a left calf. He has a heavy limp at the moment, shaking his head to put weight on it. So we will not see him for the rest of the game.
Thanks, Kels. So Jonah Bolden is a big miss for this Breakers team. We know that the Jackies without Will Magno, of course. So both teams down a big that they'd love to have out there. Sword coming across. Lopez swatted at that. Here comes Karim. Nice find in the corner. Anticevic. Drimic comes over the top, keeps it alive. Great hustle. And Sword inside the other way.
And that's what it's going to take. It's going to have to, you know, the other guys have got to step in. Sword, Drimic, those guys, Ding, they got to give a little bit more to help this team get over the top.
Nenga bumping his way underneath, clean finish.
Just so strong.
He's strong.
Did provide a bit of resistance to end that opening term, Tassie. Drimic outside Panzer.
Couple of good plays from Drimic to open the second quarter. The hustle that led to the breakaway opportunity and catch and splash from the corner.
Mooney from way downtown. Nice one from Drimic, rule of 2 on the floor. Back to a 5-point spread. Here comes Crawford. He's fouled by Bairstow. Goes down hard as well.
He's getting jittery with it. Some contact to the head there, Crawford. Drag back the hezzy, the crossover, and then head-high contact. As he tries to get by, he jams his head into Bairstow's hip.
Sometimes you do a little bit too much. You had him on the first in and out, pull back, take the 3.
Well, I like the energy from the JackJumpers in these first 2 minutes of the second quarter. Got more pop about them than the Breakers right now.
Ting misses that one. Foul underneath. I would have thought the cranium for Jordan Crawford was low enough to the floor before he decided to bury it into the hip of Sean Bairstow.
Okay, there's the ice.
The ice, never a good sign.
No, that means you're probably done for the day.
Well, hopefully he's okay.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully just a little scare and he's not out for long, because as we said earlier, I really like the way Jonah Bolden's been going about it. Not lighting the scoreboard up necessarily, but playing an important role and making winning plays for the top team in the league.
Sajul Ding at the free throw line. 82% on the season from the stripe. He's 4 of 4 so far in this one. Won 6 second quarters so far this season. Tassie actually got the best record in terms of win-loss in second quarters in the season. It's been the form after half-time that's been a big problem. Jackson Cartwright's fouled going to the baseline.
Green 12. Hands, 2 shots.
Joke dang. That's like one of my kids. Hey, what? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Camera don't lie, bro. Camera don't lie.
You can win a $1,000 Visa gift card by downloading the free NBL app now. Get the latest breaking news direct to your device, live scores, track your favourite players' Supercoach numbers. You might have Parker Jackson Cartwright as captain, so that could be very important. You can do it all via the NBL app. Grab it on the App Store or Google Play now.
Can we win? Can we? Liam, I'll ask that question. Can we get in this contest or not?
You're not going to win, bro.
How do you know? I'm good like that.
I would suggest maybe not.
Okay, I'm just asking, man. I'm just asking.
Maybe exempt from that particular deal.
Cool grand. Wouldn't go astray.
Absolutely. Be very nice indeed. I see your face every time I open the NBL website, so I don't need it there as well.
Come on, bro. Come on. I like Drummond. He's being aggressive now, offensively and defensively. He's giving them that little spark that they need, and that's the way he played last year.
And a couple of these other guys out there on the floor, Majuk Deng and Gorjok Gak, so they provided a combined 8 points in that first half. That's a combined 10 right now, and they're getting extended run because Scott Roth's enjoying what they're doing out there.
Love to see a little bit more of Gorjok Gak. You know the potential he's got. Out Magna at the moment. It just seems like there's a really big opportunity for him to try and cash in and get some more minutes. Back to a 1-point game, so it's been a really good start to this second term for Tassie, picked up from where they left off in that first quarter.
Yeah, it started in those last few minutes of the first quarter. Kept the Breakers to just 1 bucket across almost the entire last 3 minutes of that first term. And what was a double-digit deficit is now a 1-possession game.
Menenga Gillespie, Lopez Mooney, and Jackson Cartwright out there for the Breakers. Jackson Cartwright threads the needle to Freddie, who goes high and gets a friendly roll.
Just seems like he does whatever needed to be done. You know what I mean? He gets the job done.
Spent time in the NBA with Toronto and Orlando, of course. Freddie Gillespie, his journey to the NBL. Drimmick cuts in again and gets another couple to go. He's got 7. Deng's got 7. And Tassie getting some contributors from some of the lesser lights. They've sorely lacked on Friday night. Anthony Drimmick was the only other player aside from Doyle and Crawford in double figures. Menenga backs his way inside.
That was strong.
There's no match at all. What are you going to do?
Well, it's a really good job by Drimmick, making him catch it out on the 3-point line. Look, pushed him right out, but just crab dribble. Finds his way to the cup.
The number 3 about all that's similar between those two.
That's right.
In terms of that matchup. Drimmick outside to tie it up, not quite. Rebound falls to Doyle. And turn it over. Jackson Cartwright zooms up the floor to Menenga, who mashes it home.
Great run of the lane. Menenga, he had choices all over the place. He had one on the left, the Amy replay right here. One on the right, he had Lopez trailing, and Menenga tucks it away.
And nobody's going to get in front of him. He's coming down the court like that.
He's got a game-high 11 now, Menenga. 4 of 4 from the field.
Doyle, on the other end, Doyle's being passive. Yes, the guy was open, but Doyle, you got to get yourself going. If you don't, they're not going to win anyway.
Gorjok Gak misses the wide open floater. And Mitch McCarron checks into the game. So game 250 for Mitch McCarron. Terrific achievement in his storied career. An NBL champion, of course, as Cal's told us pre-game. First season in Breakers colours.
Yeah, pour one out for Mitch McCarron.
Absolutely.
He's not just an NBL champion, right? Starting point guard on that championship winning team. All NBL second team that year. I've loved the way he's gone about it on and off the floor over the course of his journey thus far.
You remember when he came out in Cairns, he was just dunking on people and the big hands, speaking of the big hands, dunking on people and shooting the 3.
Terrific contributor. Steindl from way downtown.
That's money. That's cash money. Steindl has his radar finely tuned right now.
Came into the game shooting 37% on the season. As Liam said, it's been a little bit better than that recently. And the giveaway from McCarron looking for Jackson Cartwright.
That is great defense from Crawford all over PJC. And that's what it's going to take, Joe. It's going to take this kind of defensive effort from everybody to slow this team down.
Yeah, and that, as you say, that's credit Jordan Crawford for that turnover. The physicality with Jackson Cartwright off the ball, and he's up in the passing lanes.
Tassie Kintire will take the lead here. Crawford aims for the former.
And he has been terrific. He's up the floor, he's been physical with PJC. Now he's got an equal game high 11 on the board.
4 assists to go with that as well from Jordan Crawford. Jackson Cartwright back the other way. Blow for blow.
Just smooth as the other side of the pillow. He's smooth, isn't he?
Steindl thought about it, like he was going to rise up over McCarron. Doyle inside, Kruzlevin. Blocked by Gillespie, and it was last touched by the Tassie big man.
Yeah, and Army aren't happy. This is Gillespie, the league leading shot blocker. Comes from behind, and the ref says, well, it ended up coming off your arm.
So McCarron out there at the moment with Gillespie, Jackson Cartwright, Benenga and Bairstow. Down up at mid-court on Steindl. Ruben Tarangi out there.
That's a well-earned rest for Crawford. I dare say it won't be for long. They've done a great job working their way back into this game, and they need a strong finish to this second term.
Tarangi, a former New Zealand breaker. Just over halfway gone in this second period. Joel Peterson, Liam Santamaria, Leonard Copeland, Kelsey Brown with you, and another foul.
This is what the JackJumpers like to do on ball screens. Hard hedge. And Jackson Cartwright knows it's coming. And so he splits the help. Such a handful. Makes really good reads of how you're going to cover those actions, and punishes you as a result.
3, 21, 25, 23 for Parker Jackson Cartwright. Just the 6 points so far, but he's 2 of 2, and he's got 5 assists. Not a 6 there as Gillespie misses the jumper. Steindl working outside. Sword across the lane, finishes strong.
It's a great finish from Sword. Something unexpected, but he's aggressive.
Tassie shooting 54%, New Zealand shooting 61%. Sam Benenga just testing out the Tassie air.
1-on-1, right hand.
Heard Michael Allen say 14 on the shot clock. Jackson Cartwright to inbounds. Mooney couldn't finish. Good defense from Sword. And all tied up, it's back with Tassie. They can go ahead here. Milton Doyle spinning inside, gets the call.
Finally, a little bit of aggression there. He's got to get himself going. It's tough to go into the locker room when you've only had 2 shots and you got a 0 donuts.
Not the best halftime nutrition, Cope.
No.
Donuts.
No.
Thank you.
Milton Doyle tries to get himself going from the free throw line. See a couple go through. Oh, geez. Can't get it to go down. Down the other end, Matt Mooney hasn't really been able to get himself going in this first half. Top 10 in the league in scoring, 17 a game, 4 assists a game to go with that. And he knocked down the 3-ball earlier, but hasn't really found his rhythm in this one yet.
Doyle misses a couple at the line. That is unusual. Anticevic fires and connects.
A pretty shot, isn't it? Just the drive and kick. Simple basketball.
lightning quick release from Grant Anticevic. Shooting at a better than 45% now on the season. Sword in the corner is fouled.
Silly foul from Jackson Cartwright. Short closeout on Sword. Hey, full court pressure on Parker Jackson Cartwright at your peril. Splits the double. Now it's 4-on-3. Sucks him in and pitches it out to the open shooter.
Just required a little bit of Damon Lowry going in the background.
And that's the problem. If you're not going to double him, you cannot let him split, because once he splits, you're done.
And we spoke about the foul on Craig Sword. Matt Mooney also closed Sword out hard in the corner the previous possession, and he got to the rim. Hey, sit back, make him shoot it, make him show you that he can knock that down. He wants to attack, he wants to get to the rim. He did knock it down there, but you don't need to close him out that hard where you're fouling him on the play.
5 of 14 from outside so far this season, Craig Sword. So not a bad clip, but it's not exactly jacking them at volume. Speaking of jacking them at volume, Anticevic likes the look of it again, can't connect.
I don't understand how he could be that wide open after he just knocked one down.
41 apiece. Doyle finds Tarangi inside, who can't finish, but that'll stay with Tassie.
Great pass.
The ever-expressive Freddie Gillespie.
From out of bounds to grab it.
Going to get a timeout here from Scott Rock. 2:33 remaining, tied at 41. New Zealand led by 7 at quarter time. They led by as many as 10. And this is the 6-2 Breakers on top of the table to Tassie, who are 10th in 3 and 8 at the moment. And they have lost their last 3 in the game. Jordan Crawford's got 11 points. He's got 5 of 8 shooting, playing a key role. He spoke to us pre-season about fighting adversity.
I think it's just the adversity, like as a team and individually, just how we're going to face that adversity. It's going to be challenging throughout the whole year, and just how we respond to different situations that's thrown at us. And then personally, just, you know, you don't want to get too high and try to live off last year or be too confident or cocky or whatnot, but at the same time, you still want to remain like, hey, like have some type of swagger about us as well.
They're riding the roller coaster at the moment, aren't they?
Well, they've got that championship trophy sitting in the foyer at headquarters, so it makes it a little bit easier. Yeah, I think they do a great job of riding all that adversity. Jordan Crawford, in particular, we saw last season. There you see his numbers from today: 11 and 4, 5 of 8 from the field. He's rocking and rolling and really working hard defensively as well. But you know, there were some times last season when he was really struggling throughout the playoffs, in particular, and then he comes up huge in Game 5 and helps them win the title.
21-14 in this second term for Tassie. Kruzlovic inside, can't buy one. Sword can, and puts the JackJumpers back in front for the second time in the ball game.
And he's been a hero this second half, this first half. 9 points off the bench.
First lead for Tassie since they're up 2-0. Down to the 2-minute warning in this opening half. Menenga fires. Can't hit. Anticevic can't reel it in.
The defense in the second quarter from Tassie's been really good. Gave up 27 in that first term. That's way too many. And they've given up, what, just 14 across the first 8 minutes and change of this second term. Much improved.
51 on Friday night, the first half for the Jackies. Kruzlovic can't hit again. 0 of 3 for an over on Friday night. Jackson Cartwright dicing his way inside. He's a little bit strong off the back iron. Both teams shooting exactly 50% so far in the ball game. Tassie 14 of 28. The Breakers 15 of 30. Can they get to close this first half out here, Tassie? Doyle from deep. Anticevic.
Good looking shot from Doyle. Just needed that to go to get himself going, but
Good crash from Krislovic as well. Anytime you have someone blocking you out with a face guard, just go at the rim because the refs are going to give you that whistle.
absolutely.
Has not been an easy shooting season for Fabian Krislovic, that is for sure. 0 of 7 on Friday night. 0 of a couple so far tonight. So 0 of 3 so far. 1 of 10 from outside coming into the game. He has been really productive at the free throw line though. 2 of 2 there. 14 of 18. And he keeps putting himself in the position. Eventually they'll fall.
He's going to find a bucket here at some stage. Knocks in a couple from the free throw line right there.
Hopefully that's the start of something for him. It's been a rough run with shooting the rock. 6 on the shot clock again for the Breakers. They wind that clock down and allow a chance for Mooney, who airballs that one. And Pinot almost collected the rebounds. It's going back with Tassie.
So after going 5 of 7 from 3 in the opening term, New Zealand are 1 from 7 in this second quarter. Blazing away at times, much more contested.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Much better defense in the second quarter.
Use time down in Tassie as well by the sound of that. Get after 6 o'clock. With Steindl, out to Tarangi. Kept alive by Krislovic. Back to Steindl. Good man to have it in the hands of. And it's last touch by Tassie.
2 very good-looking shots.
Henry Competent's going to get a chance to draw something up here. 16.7 left in this second term. Tangerine timeout. JackJumpers by 45 to 41. They trailed 20 to 27 at half-time. So it's been a 25 to 14 second term. A very productive one as far as the home team is concerned. For Scott Roth, you'd love to see their offensive production, but equally their defense copes has been terrific.
Absolutely. And a lot of that has come from Sword, Crawford, putting the pressure on PJC, stopping the scoring, but also stopping those passes. And that's why they've been able to, to take the lead in this game.
Yeah, the scoring in particular. So he's got the 6 assists, but he's only got 6 points. He's only had 3 shots. So they've done a really good job of crowding him. They're showing help. They're forcing him to give it up and find other guys. And then, after, he's forced a couple. So you're right. That's been a real key to this first half, their defense on Jackson Cartwright. They've got a foul to give here, the JackJumpers. Shot clock's turned off. Let's see what Coppinen has drawn up. You'd imagine Jackson Cartwright will have the rock and an opportunity to create.
So we don't know Jonah Bolden for the remainder of proceedings, and no Will Magnay coming into it. So an injury on either side. Jackson Cartwright, Menenga, Mooney, Pinot and Lopez, the 5 for New Zealand. Final possession of this first half. Long way from home is PJC. Mooney gets to his spot, fights through contact, fires, but can't beat the half-time buzzer. A terrific second half turnaround from Tassie. Down by 10 twice in the opening term. They fought their way to the front at half-time. 45 to 41 they lead. And the home fans would have to be pretty energised with that.
Oh, big time. What a terrific second term. They won that second quarter 25 to 14. Tasmania. And you're right, born out of the work at the defensive end of the floor, and they're up and about.
Absolutely, they are. Let's check in with Kelsey Brown.
Yeah, I'm here with Craig. So, Craig, you gave up 27 in the first quarter, but a huge turnaround in the second. What changed defensively?
We just had to adjust how they play, and we had to just settle in. We ain't been home in this crowd, so now we settled into the crowd, so now we ready.
Offensively, you guys are shooting the lights out. How is that feeling on the offensive end?
I mean, once we get stops on defense, we feel good offensively, so we got to continue to do that.
I feel like the intensity and the intent in that second quarter really changed. Who was the driver of that one?
Everybody, man, just everybody, even the bench. It's the bench for sure in this crowd.
All the best in the second half.
Craig Sword and his Tassie teammates, they slashed away at that New Zealand lead. They lead by 5 at the half, the JackJumpers, 45 to 41. All the analysis next.
As part of the NBL's Indigenous round, we are super proud tonight to have Tasmanian Aboriginal artist Danny with us tonight, performing with DJ Danza.
Now, Usharita, we want you to give it up as she performs her hit song, Know My Worth. Please welcome Danny! Woo! Hello, Nipaluna.
Ini Maliju, Nadi Rajri, Murumambu, Mujiganga Langbu, Mambu, Boyabu, Nina Rajrija, Marambanga, Baladu, Jeremiah Rajri Birang, Brangu Gilang, Mandangu.
Our First Nations culture, it's 65,000 years old. We want all Australians to own that, not just say that's just the Aboriginal culture, but it's Australian culture. And my name's Luke Penrith. I'm a proud Rajri man from Brungle, where we are today, but I've also got cultural and spiritual connections to the Gambangari people of the north coast of New South Wales, the Yuin people of the south coast of New South Wales, and the Watchabolik, the Western Victoria mob out that way. The artwork title is Flowing Unity. We're sitting in the backdrop of the Chimit River at the moment. Waterways, creeks, rivers, it's the lifeblood of communities. Like our family, basketball is a part of our life, and across Australia, water is the lifeblood of our country. On this artwork, 90% of it's traditional that's been handed down to me. A lot of my artwork don't have dots. Dots are mainly in Northern Territory, Western Australia. Our people in Rajri, we use a lot of lines and a lot of squiggles, so you'll see a lot of that. So I've been a basketball fan since I was about 4 years old. So I remember vividly going to NBL games when I played country championships in Sydney. It wasn't necessarily about winning or playing, it was just the adventure. You got out of your own community, you played against the best in the region, you made friends. Those are the things that you look back on when you have kids. It's not about the trophies and the medals. Dribble straight up, zigzag, yep. My kids have got aspirations to, play in the NBL one day. I just love watching them. It's very personal to me, being a basketballer growing up. Now watching my kids come through the system and really having fun, you can see them smile, but also they're telling their friends about Dad's doing the artwork for the NBL, so they've got a bit of bragging rights there. But if this encourages other kids, other First Nations people to pick up the ball and have a go at it, I think I've done my job.
It's such a great feature of every season, Indigenous round in the NBL, honouring the commitment and the culture and of First Nations people, what they've done for our game and also society more broadly. And all the jerseys look great, the game balls look brilliant as well. Joel Peterson, Liam Santamaria, Lennard Copeland with you at half-time. It's Tassie by 4, 45-41. They trailed by 10 a couple of times in that opening frame. They fought their way back, and a big reason for it, Lennard's been Jordan Crawford in our Hungry Jacks half-time highlights.
Absolutely, he's been tough on the offensive end. You know, he's gone 5 for 8 from the field, been aggressive, going at TJC. And the one thing I think that's helped him more than anything is his defense. He shut TJC down. TJ's only taken 3 shots. He's aggressive offensively. He's aggressive defensively. He's saying, you're not going to come in here and put on a show in my house. I'm the best little man in this league.
Yeah, he's done all of that in this first half. And, you know, he scored from a variety of different spots on the floor. Really, really productive first half from Jordan Crawford. You can see on the blackboard shot chart, the long range, the mid-range. He's also been getting to the rim, and he's been doing it at really good efficiency. And you got to love also the contributions of some other guys off the bench. Guys like Majuk Deng, Craig Sword, and who else was getting it done out there in that first half?
Drimmick.
Gorjok Gak came in off the bench and gave some really good production. So really good work from the Jack Jumpers to fight their way back into that game.
Absolutely so. The battle of the little big men. They've either been the littlest big men or the biggest little men, but they're going the right way at the moment. Speaking of just big men, just big men, Sam Menenga is certainly one of those, and he has been big in this first half.
He has been. Look, 11 points, 4 for 6 from the field. He started off with a wide open 3. He strokes that thing very nicely. But he's so strong inside, and no one can guard him. Once he backs you down, as here, bang, bang, turn into the rim. It's just unguardable. He's been tough on the offensive end. He's dunked in on people. I love the way he plays. 3 rebounds. And they got to keep him going and get this win.
Yeah, good contributions from Sam Menenga. But, man, the superstars, Jackson Cartwright and Matt Mooney, just 9 points combined from those two. Now, Cartwright's got 6 assists to go along with it, but the Jack Jumpers have done a good job of slowing those 2 guys down, both top 10 scorers in the league.
Yeah, especially Mooney in that first half. Well, this is the first of a double-header tonight. The second game is at John Cain Arena, 8 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, and it's always a tasty matchup when they get together, Lennard.
Always a tasty matchup. Melbourne United didn't play so well the last time they played at home, so they want to come in and get fired up. They want that crowd behind them. But Perth, look, they're going to come in and try to get this win.
Thursday night, they both had wins. They renew that rivalry tonight. That's going to be something very special coming up next. We've got a big second half coming your way, though, as well. It's Tassie by 4 as we get into it. It's coming your way after this. No, all good, I think.
Nah, all good.
Yeah. Tassie in front at half-time at MyState Bank Arena. Their first time here in 34 days since they beat Perth in overtime earlier in the season. And their fans liking what they're seeing at half-time, up 45-41 over the New Zealand Breakers. Joel Peterson, Leonard Copeland, Liam Santa Maria with your big story for New Zealand in the first half. An injury to Jonah Bolden. Kelsey Brown's got more on that.
Yeah, incredibly unfortunate for the big man. He started for the lineup, but it was early in that first quarter that he sustained that left calf injury. He's sporting a visible limp at the moment, and incredible painful, as you can see there on the screen. But for Jonah Bolden, hopefully the diagnosis isn't too bad, but keep an eye on that in the future.
Yeah, absolutely, Kels. Thank you. NBL app, NBL.com.au over coming days for all the updates on Jonah Bolden. You see there, he's got that left calf strapped. He had the big bag of ice on it earlier, which is generally the international signal of I'm not planning on coming back into this ball game.
How's my bold prediction going, fellas, so far?
Good, Cope. Well, I think even you might have said Tassie by 3 at one point, Cope. So
something like that. Did he walk it back in the first quarter?
No.
I think he tried to rescind the prediction.
No, it's all right. He's
no take-backsies in this particular land.
My confidence is down, fellas. My bold predictions have been terrible.
Okay, so Freddie Gillespie comes in to start the second half, but immediately picks up his third personal. So he's out. Dane Pinot comes in.
A little bit of a headache for Pettery Competent, who hasn't had too many of them in the last little while. Juk Deng on the take. Can't get it to go. I mean, the turnaround in their form recently has been pretty remarkable, New Zealand. They got waxed by Southeast Melbourne, scored 62 points, and since then, they beat Sydney in Sydney, they beat Adelaide by 27 and Melbourne by 34. Been an extraordinary run of form. Pinot's a little bit short. And that makes what the JackJumpers have done so far all the more impressive. Crawford on Jackson Cartwright, hanging but can't hit. He will go to the line.
You have to think, though, Crawford, and look at those stats at halftime and say, I'm doing a good job. But PJC, on the other hand, would say, I need to pick it up. And I would not be surprised if he gets going early in this third quarter.
And then they've both got their running mates that haven't been involved so far. So you've got Mooney on one side, who's been quiet, and Milton Doyle on the other, who's been scoreless.
And that's a two-man, Liam. I don't know what's going on here, bro.
Well, certainly Jordan Crawford has the better of that point guard matchup right now. And you called for it, coach. You said, hey, go at Jackson Cartwright. You like the idea of going at him in the block, but they're going at him in a variety of ways. And Crawford in particular just being super aggressive in those one-on-one matchups.
And he is at the moment, harassing PJC up the floor. Drops it off. Menenga can't finish. Collects it off the tap, and then he's fouled on the floor.
Nothing to do with that size. He's just too big and strong.
With regards to Milton Doyle, though, I mean, it is bizarre, right? He was in Flago on Thursday night, the 30 points, 6 made triples. So to have a donut coming into the start of the second half is a strange one, and they are going to need him to get rolling at some stage.
Only 3 shots as well, after he was prolific on Thursday night. I said Friday about 8 times now. It was Thursday night. The Thursday doubleheader's doing things to me, Leah.
A late George Crawford, he's rolling. A late midweek game in Perth just feels like a Friday night, doesn't it?
A Friday night kind of vibe about it, that's for sure. Another giveaway. Crawford's got 15 already. He whips it to Doyle, who gets Menenga in the air, drives inside, and he's fouled by Lopez. He'll head back to the stripe where he missed 2 earlier tonight.
Here's the push on, though. The push from Crawford. Again, just saying, you know what? I'm putting the Jets on. Then Menenga, don't jump. Got to stay on the floor. Lopez not quite there. Sideways, not vertical. The Breakers just a step behind right now.
You can unlock the ultimate fan experience this season with NBL Plus. Access to archival footage, in-depth stats and exclusive partner offers now. Scan the QR code below to sign up for 3 and go deeper inside the game this season with NBL Plus. 0 of 3 at the line, Milton Doyle.
Oh boy, that's a relief. He's on the board.
Thank goodness. How do you go from a 30-piece
to a one-piece?
A 30-piece chicken McNugget to a one-piece with no barbecue sauce. Come on, man. Choking over here.
Come on, man. He'll get going.
You know, he will at some point, Milton Doyle. The ball just dribbles its way to Lopez. On his lap just about. Menenga underneath, fighting his way. Now he backs down on Tarangi. Kicks it out to Bairstow. Nice find. Shot won't fall. Foul underneath.
Good patience from Menenga. Didn't force it. Kept his head up. Found a wide open shooter, and Bairstow just unable to knock it down.
But you got to do something about these offensive rebounds. Maybe get somebody with some size in there, because Menenga's just too strong, too big and strong. And then you got Dane Pinot, who eats rebounds for a living.
Jackson Cartwright taps it out to Bairstow, needs to get it up. Didn't graze anything, so it'll be a 24-second clock violation.
Again, the defensive attention on Jackson Cartwright. He's not making his usual reads. He's holding the ball, sticking in his hands a little. He feels like he's getting fouled. He's certainly getting harassed.
Certainly.
It's the 7 free throws for the Breakers so far. Tassie have been there plenty. 15 of 19 at the stripe. They lead by 9. Crawford goes zooming past to Pinot, comes across. And Dane Pinot says, oh no.
Really good help from Pinot. And Jackson Cartwright needed it because Crawford had to step on him once again.
Somebody being aggressive, going at him, rather than worrying about him on the offensive end.
Scoreless through 3 minutes here, the Breakers. Tarangi to Deng. He can't finish. Going back in Breakers colours.
No, it's not Ruben.
9-point Tassie lead. Their biggest of the game at 50-41. And after clamping down in that second quarter, keeping New Zealand at just 14, the Breakers are scoreless here in the first 3 minutes and change of this third quarter.
Do not have the keys to the lock at the moment, the Breakers. Come in on top of the table. Tassie, the defending champions, in last place, and another New Zealand turnover. 8 in the game. Doyle sizes things up. 2 feet in the paint. Outside, Steindl. Just offline.
White, green.
Majuk Deng pleading for that call to go their way. It certainly did. It'll stay with Tassie. Let's check in with Kels.
Yeah, I just want to ask Liam Santamaria a question. What are Tassie doing defensively that Melbourne United couldn't do on Monday night? Is it a case of New Zealand just aren't getting going, or is it Tassie's defense?
Yeah, they're showing extra bodies at Parker Jackson Cartwright. That's been the key so far. That way they step across, get into those passing lanes, into the driving lanes, ready to help out. Scott Roth has a real strong emphasis on guard your yard. Can you sit down and stay in front of the ball? As Jackson Cartwright picks the pocket of Milton Doyle, gets to the free throw line. So that enhanced physicality, all working together as a unit, they're clamping down right now.
And you know what? I was at that game with Melbourne United, and Shea Ely and Dellavedova seemed to give Parker Jackson Cartwright a step. They went up and in. It's almost like they were afraid of his speed, so they backed off, and that's when he really got going. Here, they're in his space, so he can't get going. So,
I was there. You didn't come say hi.
Well, I was up in the.
You're in the corporate, in the luxury suite.
Oh. One of those skyboxes.
Right,
fully catered.
Gee,
Hall of Fame type of stuff.
100. Fully.
So only certain
when you're
people of greater ilk than mine.
Is your jersey hanging in the rafters?
100.
Joel?
100.
My jersey wouldn't even be hanging up at home. Here's Steindl outside. Bang! Clint Steindl. Big hit. 11-point Tassie lead.
Can they maintain this defense, though, Liam? Because they're up and in. And it ain't easy, I'm going to tell you right now.
Well, it's what they do, though, right? It's what they've done since Scott Roth has brought this team into existence, and they've done it for 3 years and change. The only replay. Kick, Steindl, that's automatic right now. And there's been so much focus on Tassie's offense, and yes, it's been poor, but lean into what you do really well, and that is what they're doing right here at the defensive end of the floor, making life tough.
Interesting pass from Jackson Cartwright off the corner of the backboard. And say it may not have been drawn up as a pass. Crawford back the other way, and Tisevich out there with 3 fouls. Henry Competent's just got to go somewhere in the big man department with Bolden injured. Steindl stepped on the sideline.
Well, Ross was smart, coach. He would have watched that game against Melbourne United. Find ways of slowing PJC down because PJC runs this team.
Done a good job of it so far. Done a good job of slowing this man down as well. Matt Mooney, who hasn't got off the chain so far. 53-42. Game high, 11-point lead for Tassie. McCarron steps into one, well offline.
And so, look, this lineup that Coppern's got on the floor here is a funky one. And they're really going to need Matt Mooney's offense. There's no PJC, there's no Sam Menenga, no Lopez. Of course, we know Jonah Bolden's injured, so Matt Mooney needs to step up and provide some offensive punch.
Sword out there for the JackJumpers. Down low to Kruzlovic, who's going to keep trying his luck inside. That time, Pinot's not having it. And it's off Fabian Kruzlovic again. That's the second time that's happened this evening.
I'm not blaming him. I'm blaming all the guys that play with the ball outside the three-point line. Kruzlovic is not having the best game. But Sword, you're 3 for 4, 4 for 5. Take the shot. What are you so nervous about?
3 for 9 points for Craig Sword so far. And Bairstow stepped on the sideline. That is turnover number 10 for New Zealand.
Oh, turning it over at both ends of the floor there. And good read from Mooney. They throw an extra body at him, so he hits Gillespie on the short roll, but the shooter wasn't ready in the corner.
18 points to 12 in the paint so far in this game. Tassie with 13 second chance points to 2. 13 points coming off 6 offensive rebounds, so very efficient in that part of the game. Gillespie pokes it loose from Crawford. McCarron finds Mooney. Mooney can't find the bottom of the cup. Sword slicing his way inside.
He's been tough.
And a timeout for Penry Coppinen, with Tassie extending that lead to 13 points.
Again, why are you closing Craig Sword out like he's Clint Steindl?
That's right.
Make that man shoot from 3. Make him knock it down. He's slashing his way to the cup. The JackJumpers have the breakers in all sorts right now.
So Tangerine timeout, 55-42. Game high lead for Tasmania, who have lost their past 3 against a New Zealand team that has won its past 3 and sits top of the table.
I wouldn't mind trying to get to the flex axis, but not with the, we're going to twist and snap. Yeah. I want to go to trim side. Go outside of it, outside of it.
Ready? But Matt, you come Manolis. Go this way, space. You come this way, and then we play. Freddy, when you get the ball short goal, look the basket.
Come on, White. Together on 3. 1, 2, 3, together.
No, flow 5.
So Penry Coppinen talking it over with his group.
Sorry, Joel, the Euro flavour coming out in that timeout from Penry Coppinen. He's going to run the Spanoulis play, named after Vasilis Spanoulis, the Greek legend. He's going to use it for Matt Mooney by the sounds of it. Should be running a bit of a loop cut. Should see Matt Mooney coming up through the middle to then work off the ball screen. Here he comes, handoff. The Spanoulis in action for the Breakers.
Great call.
Doesn't deliver the result though. Good defense from Kruzlovic inside. And the ball's going to go back with Tassie. The defense again was well adjusted to that. 55-42. Hasn't this been a surprise? First leg of a doubleheader. United and the Wildcats coming up after this. Full pre-game ahead of that one as well. McCarron with the steal. Offloads it somehow to Gillespie, who again hits that moon ball.
That was an awkward one. McCarron dropped it off and he didn't have a free lane to the rim and he made it work.
Majuk Den from outside. 14-point Tassie lead.
He's in double figures now, Majuk Deng. You said it, Copes. He needs some of those other guys to step up. Sword and Deng a combined 21.
And Drummond has been tough as well. Offensive end, playing good defense, diving after balls, rebounding well.
Another New Zealand turnover here. It's not been a great quarter from that perspective for the Breakers. Drimmick from outside, no good. Gillespie collects the rebound as he crashes to the floor. 6 turnovers already in this quarter alone for New Zealand. Another one as Lopez goes for a stroll.
Remember, this is first versus last.
And just quietly, don't forget, New Zealand had 41 points at halftime. So it's been nearly 8 minutes here and they've scored just 3 in this third term.
Drimmick outside looking for Doyle. Tassie have got the clamps on. Krizlovic inside. He's fouled by Gillespie.
Krizlovic just can't fire back.
Gillespie picks up, as you say, his 4th. Didn't need to come across there. Lopez had that covered, just needed to stay on the weak side, ready to block out. I'm sure Coppinen's telling him that right now. This lead continues to grow for the JackJumpers.
Lowest score by any team in any quarter this season. 8 by the Adelaide 36ers against Melbourne in the third quarter. And by Tassie against the Kings back in round 5.
I'm not sure the Breakers are going to get there, Joel.
It's going to take a little bit of an offensive spark if they are to, Liam. Where does it come from is the question at the moment. And Tisovic, he steps into a long 2. That's no good. So another possession goes begging. 3 points in the quarter for New Zealand. Oh, Drimmick almost with the big finish. Just popped out at the last moment. And now the takeaway for Sword, who is fouled by Jackson Cartwright.
Oh, man, things going from bad to worse for the Breakers. Jackson Cartwright, he's got the fumbles all of a sudden. Drimmick nearly put that away. Good contest from Lopez at the last moment, but Jackson Cartwright, look at the frustration on his face right here. Things not going well as the JackJumpers extend the lead.
He is one of those players, though, that can get going in a quarter and bring a team back. So I'll just wait till there's a minute left in that fourth quarter before I say anything about him, because I've seen him go to work.
A little bit of deliberation over the call. 59-44, minutes 7 remaining. Joel Peterson, Liam Santamaria, Leonard Copeland and Kelsey Brown with you. Melbourne and Perth to come this evening. Full pre-game before that one at 8 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. Tomorrow, Southeast Melbourne and Cairns versus Adelaide and Illawarra. And the call has been upgraded on Jackson Cartwright. So Craig Sword will step to the stripe. Tassie will keep the rock.
What do you think, Liam?
That's a tough whistle.
It's a tough whistle, yeah.
It's in front of the ball. Obviously, they've adjudicated that a clear path rule. Was he in front? Reaching maybe across from the side. There you see the frustration on PJC's face. He averages 20 a game. Jackson Cartwright, he's got 7 right now, 2 of 5 from the field.
More importantly, though, he just looked rattled, and I haven't seen anyone do that this year.
Major Deng from outside. Buries another one. The lead is 19. Extraordinary basketball from Tassie. You can never count out a champion. And the JackJumpers are showing that. And Tisovic. He can't get it to go.
Good find from Jackson Cartwright, but again, they're showing him extra bodies, making other guys have to beat him, and they're not getting it done.
3 points would be their equal second lowest scoring quarter in history, the Breakers. That's what they've got on the board in this term at the moment. Kruzlovic outside. He can't hit. It stays with Tassie. Trimmick takes a lick, dragging in the offensive rebound. Thank you.
He touched the green.
Did you guys see this coming? A 20-point lead.
Here we go.
A 19-point lead.
Well, you saw this win coming.
I saw the win.
You saw the win coming from a mile away.
You know, Liam, I've been writing a lot. You know? As soon as I say this, the Breakers will make a run in the fourth. So.
Well, it has been impressive because especially
6 seconds,
when New
6
Zealand
seconds.
was
Diamond,
so
diamond.
dominant in that first term. Up by double digits. What was it, 25 to 15? And since that point, it's been a tremendous turnaround.
Such a different team today and the team against the Melbourne United, so.
He almost kept it alive there. Lopez with the runner, won't go. A 3-point quarter for New Zealand, if you can believe that. The top of the table team is down by 20 at three-quarter time. Have they got anything left? We'll find out next. It's Tassie 64, the Breakers 44 with a quarter to go.
Take your game from the local court to the big time. Apply now to step onto an NBL court after the final buzzer. Backing local ballers is just the beginning.
Tasmania in that quarter. The first time in 5 years that a team has scored 3 or fewer points in any quarter. 64-44. The Breakers went from 41 at halftime to 44 at three-quarter time. It is Tassie by 20. And they have got all kinds of work to do. The top of the table New Zealand Breakers. Joel Peterson, Liam Santamaria, Leonard Copeland with you. Kelsey Brown is courtside. And Sam Menenga gets them started on the right note. They'll need a lot more of that, Copes.
Absolutely they will. You know, it's Tasmania defense has done a tremendous job, but Drimmick, Ding, Swords come in on the offensive end and giving them a boost. Drimmick 8 points, 5 rebounds. Ding 13 points, 4 rebounds, and Sword 12 points off the bench with 4 assists.
Takeaway by Mooney here for the Breakers. He misses, but Lopez cleans it up. 4 points out of the blocks for New Zealand. Kelsey Brown, what did Peteri Koponen have to say at three-quarter time?
Well, it was all about getting the confidence back on offense. He said 10 minutes to go. We've got to play with some confidence. It cannot get much worse than that. Defensively, he said we've got to get stops so we can run. But my question is, Leonard, how do they get the stops?
Well, they got to be aggressive. They got to run and jump, and they can't give open, wide open shots because, again, this crowd is your sixth man. You knock down a shot or you get a steal. It's so loud down there, as you know, Kelsey. You can't hear anything.
It's going to stay with New Zealand here.
You know, the beautiful thing for Tasmania offensively is Scott Roth calls for time. Gives the signal that he would like to challenge that call.
67-48.
Don't deliberately untie your shoelace situation. No.
Don't worry. 67-48. That's what Scott Roth would be thinking at the moment. He does not have too many cares right now, the Tassie coach. 19 points up. Sure, not even he could have seen this coming.
You know, the thing is, too, when you got a 20-point lead, most teams sort of take their foot off the gas. You know, and that playing is hard. You can't afford to do that with New Zealand because they got some scores on this team. You got to play hard every single possession and continue to play like you played these first 3 quarters.
Well, they're very smart as well, the JackJumpers. They're going to be a hard team to come back against because they are tough and rugged, but smart at the offensive end. They won't be in any kind of rush.
So there's Scott Roth, went into the coach's challenge at the Tangerine timeout for the out-of-bounds play, and it was successful. So Tassie keep the ball out of the timeout. They win it back. 19 points the spread. It was 20 at three-quarter time. Couple of buckets to the Breakers, then a three-pointer from Craig Sword. Almost a three-pointer from Drimmick. Lopez gets upstairs and has it pinched by Milton Doyle, who has 1 point, and his team has a 19-point lead, which in itself is quite extraordinary.
Well, he'll learn that with experience, Karim Lopez. Pull down that board, you got to keep that thing up. Get your bows out. Mate, the guys are coming from left and right underneath Lopez at the moment when he pulls down those boards in an effort to snatch it away.
They're being bullies, Liam. I don't like it. They're being bullies. Taking the man's candy.
7 on the shot clock. Sword, Krislovic, Ding, Drimmick, Doyle.
Speaking of Doyle, Joel, they've got this 19-point lead here with Milton Doyle having 1 point to his name. 1 point. 0 for 4 from the field. 1 for 4 from the free throw line.
Sword again! And he is cutting them to ribbons.
He's been enormous. He, on the flip side, has 18. 6 of 7 from the field. Terrific performance from Craig Sword.
Season best performance from the import. Another takeaway. And Ding soars to the cup. And Tassie look like they're going to soar to an unlikely victory. A game-high 24-point lead as we take a look at the Amy replay.
Just nice pass by Doyle. And Sword has been confident, very confident in this game, knocking the 3 down. Good steal. Alley-oop for Ding, and he loves it. And the fans love it.
Why wouldn't they? Another sellout at My State Bank Arena. And they have been treated. 72-48.
That place is going bananas.
Liam, you spoke about Doyle. I don't have a problem with the 1 point. I have a problem with only taking 4 shots. You're not giving yourself an opportunity to score.
But the team's up by 22.
I don't care. They're going to need him down the line. Yes, they got this win, and I did predict that. I won't say it again, but
you know, for the most part, I feel like he's making good decisions.
Yeah,
you know, they're making life tough for him. They're trying to get it out of his hands, the breakers, and other guys are stepping up. That guy, most of all, Craig Sword, I said force him to show you that he can knock it down. Well, he's done that. 2 of 2 here in this 4th quarter. And they are having a great time down there in Tassie.
And everyone's been talking about Sword and making a change. And this guy's proven he's a baller.
He's made the change himself. He gets it to Drimic off the steal. He's doubled his previous season best, Craig Sword, so he's 18. His previous best was 9. And he's given them a spark, a real boost. Jackson Cartwright inside. He wants the call. It has not broken New Zealand's way. Deng is fouled inside. Mooney and Drimic having words.
And message, Drimic, get out now right there.
The young floor wiper just got caught in the middle of things, I think.
So keep an eye on Drimic and Mooney here. Heavy contact from Drimic. Mooney drags him out of bounds, and it's on.
Tap. Nothing into it, bro.
That's all I've got. Anybody else have any more information? The replay center, we have a normal foul on Lopez. Review the contact between Mooney and Drimic. He goes off under the basket, please.
So you hear Michael Aylan calling for the review on the contact. Old-fashioned hip and shoulder from Anthony Drimic, and Matt Mooney says, Anthony, may we have this dance?
Well, I mean, it was strong contact from Drimic, but it wasn't over the top. No. It was physical, sure. Mooney didn't appreciate it.
Double on spots for luck. First foul is on Mooney, which is 13 on Mooney, and the second one is on Drimic.
Shooting foul and then double on sports.
3.
So they cancel.
No, they cancel each other out. So we've still got the shots here on the first play. Sub, yeah, let's go.
Well,
so there you go, double on sportsmanlike, as you hear.
Thank you. Let's go, 2 shots.
And they cancel each other out, so...
I coach an under-8s team on Saturday morning. I've seen more banging in the under-8s than this one.
Well, Mooney's frustrated, right? 3 points, 1 of 9 from the field.
Of course.
He and Jackson Cartwright have had a tough time of things.
And the crowd giving it to Matt Mooney as well when they see him on the screen. Deng makes the second at the line. 75-48. 27-point lead. You think this time last week, New Zealand beat Adelaide by 27. Now they're down by 27. Esto in the corner can't hit. Gillespie pulls it down. Jackson Cartwright finally from outside. Michael Aylan wants to have a look at it to see whether he had his foot on the line. It counts as a 3 for now. Deng almost with a wedgie.
The breakers flipped things up, went into a funky little 2-3 zone. They got a little discombobulated. Not sure Karim Lopez was on the same page as everybody else. They come away with the stop.
75-51. What a performance this has been from Tassie. Down by 7 at quarter time. They trailed by 10 twice in the opening term. As Gillespie makes it a 22-point break, a 32-point turnaround from that point.
Is that automatic, Liam? That little Gillespie shot in the lane there? Because he didn't seem to miss a lot of...
Automatic?
Well,
you were automatic.
Well, I wasn't automatic, but he didn't seem to miss a lot of those shots.
That's nice. He's got good touch.
Doyle can't hit from outside. Foul on the floor. Going on Anticevic. Fabian Krislovic is pretty pleased with his work. 4 foul on Grant Anticevic. Great sword, getting a rousing round of applause from the Tassie crowd. And why not? Absolutely deserved.
Tell you what, if he can continue to play like that, it makes him a much different team.
Deng with a fumble. Krislovic baseline. Still no good for Fabs.
He's still shooting it though, isn't he?
And at the other end, much the same for the Breakers. Oh, Mick on the take. Always up for the scrap.
No layup rule in effect there from Karim Lopez. You take it out of bounds.
Coming out of the game. 16th matchup between these two teams in history. Biggest margin either of them have had was 32. That was the Breakers over the JackJumpers. Round 5 of 22-23.
Great contribution from Drimmy.
Yeah.
As you guys have talked about, 10 points, 6 boards, 4 assists, a steal. He's had a terrific night at the office.
More of the Anthony Drimmick we saw last season. He had a slow start to this year. He was sick at the blitz. He just couldn't get his body right. He's starting to find his groove now. Derso spinning inside. Doyle, good defense. Sean Bairstow gets it back and he gets walled up once more. Doyle now guarded by Bairstow. Takes him to the baseline, whips it out to Steindl. Deng pulls it down. And again. Mooney comes up with it. And Jackson Cartwright hits at the other end.
He's having to work so hard for everything, Jackson Cartwright. Feels like he's getting hacked and whacked and not getting any calls. After all of this, he's bordering on a double-double, 12 points and 8 assists.
Just keeps chipping away. Milton Doyle's runner is cash. Wow. And Mooney cuts to the cup. And here's the boos from the Tasmania crowd. 77-57, 4:08 remaining in this one. PJC up to his 9th assist to the ball game to go with his 12 points. So Tangerine timeout, Tassie by 20, of course. Coming up next is Melbourne United and the Perth Wildcats. We can preview that with Steph Baumgartel.
Coming up next, Melbourne United hosting the Perth Wildcats. It's one of the NBL's most storied rivalries, and today promises to be another epic showdown. Dean Vickerman hoping to build on the bulldozing of Brisbane on Thursday night. The Perth Wildcats have been doing it without Bryce Cotton, but there are plenty of Cats who've had their claws out in recent weeks. Christian Doolittle and Keanu Pinder too, who've stepped up in recent games. It promises to be an exciting matchup, and it's coming up next here at John Cain Arena.
So looking forward to that coming up after this one. And it looks like Tassie will be riding off into the sunset this evening. with a win in their pockets.
That should be a good one at John Cain Arena. Last time they were there, the Wildcats, they had a tough night against South East Melbourne Phoenix. They got taken care of, so John really will be reminding them of that. Need a much better performance, and man, if they could come away with a double win weekend here, the home road double would be very impressive.
Well, it was only 6 days ago they were here, so they've gone from Melbourne back to Perth and now back to Melbourne. So it's a tough little stretch for them. What a win it would be if they could do that tonight. It's a great point. Mooney continues to hear it, tosses it away, and that'll delight the locals.
Well, 20-point lead. And what you got to understand is other teams see this. Not that everyone can do it, but certainly try to make life hard for BJC is going to help their effort.
So do we see life in Tassie's season? You watch a performance like this against a team that's going as well as New Zealand is. Is there still some light at the end of the tunnel here for Tassie amid a really tough stretch?
It's a really good question. It's a long road back from where they've been as Jackson Cartwright knocks down a tough one. And this is, you know, it's a great bounce back performance. And but it's on their own floor. You know, as at a place we know is really, really hard to win at for road teams. So can we see this on a consistent basis from Tasmania, including on the road? That's yet to be proven.
Crawford with 2 more.
But I see a different effort as well, though, Liam. I mean, the defensive effort in the second and third quarter was just unreal. If you can play like that on the road, you're going to give yourself a chance at least to stay in the game.
Might have to rename this man Matt Booney the way he's going. And it's out of the court. He's a favourite down there, is Booney, generally. Not that one.
Oh, come on, Joel.
You're funny, man.
Yeah, they are thinking at the moment, the Tassie fans, this version of Booney can take his bat and ball and go home. 79-60. Hasn't been Matt Mooney's evening. Unwelcome introduction to Tasmania. But he has been so efficient in recent times. The break is a big part of what they're doing when they're going well. Steindl in the corner on the take across the lane. And Majuk Deng puts a lid on it. And he's just hanging out.
Wow. Hasn't he had a good time tonight? Majuk Deng, an equal game high 18 on the board, including 3 of 4 from long range. And there he is, hanging on the rim.
And that one's out of court. That'll go back with Tassie up by 21. Kelsey Brown, let's have a look at this again from Majuk Deng before we get to Kels. That is some nice work over the top. Kels, you see about as much of Tassie as anyone. What have you seen from them from a body language perspective tonight?
Yeah, they are really up and about, and I think it is very evident they love being back at home. They get so much energy from this crowd. We talk about it so much. But I think the thing for me is that third quarter, 19-3, they've struggled with their third quarters across this season. And I think the intent and the energy and just this crowd and what it gives you, I've seen so much of that tonight from Tasmania and been very impressed by the effort.
It's a good call out. They've won just 2 of 11 third quarters this season. Getting outscored by 6.5 points in third quarters, Tassie. They did a number on New Zealand tonight. It has really set up this win. Minute and a half remaining in this one before we send you over to John Cain Arena for Melbourne and Perth. Another New Zealand turnover. That is number 19. And that continues to be a bit of an issue.
Roth is a smart coach. Again, he would have watched Melbourne United play against New Zealand. Watched what needed to be done. And I'm sure all week long they've been training. Got that ball out of PJC's hand.
What about the Breakers, coach? Do you write it off as just an aberration based on their recent form? Is there something deeper that you see here that you're concerned about?
Well, look, obviously you're going to watch a lot of video because other teams will see this and they'll come out and try to duplicate the same thing these other that Tassie's doing, but I just think that New Zealand are they're too talented to get stuck like this again.
So the reinforcements coming in for Tassie. Brody Nunn checks in for his first minutes of the season. Walter Brown for just his second appearance. Archie Woodhill out there as well for Tassie. Lockie Barker getting some minutes, and Jordan Crawford firing the crowd up as he gets subbed out. You'll love to see that.
Do you think he won the war again in the little man department?
He won the battle.
Yeah, he won the battle.
Jackson Caro, 15 points and 9 assists, but Jordan Crawford's the game-leading scorer, and when you watch the game, he won that battle.
Yeah, he did. And it was more his defense, I think, than it was his offense.
So Barker, Steindl, Woodhill, Brown and Nunn out there. By Isaac, Sam Menenga, Sean Bairstow, Mitch Buchanan and Grant Anticevic for New Zealand. Barker from the corner. Had a big week, signed with the Northwest Tasmania Thunder this week after spending a number of years down in Frankston in the NBL 1. Now on Menenga. Woodhill comes across. The glorious locks of Archie Woodhill finally get some run. Have a look at that mane. There has been some work go into that. Absolutely. Some of us can only dream of that kind of action, Copes.
Oh, yeah. I've been dreaming for a long time, my friend.
You want that look?
No, but I'd love to consider the look anyway.
I'd love to have the option.
Have the option one day. I might want to go out and just throw a look at him, throw a little something different at him. Right now, it's the same old thing, bro. Shiny and clean.
83-64. Tassie's just clawed some. New Zealand have clawed some scoreboard back recently. Bairstow outside, can't hit. Brown pulls down the rebound. There is the opportunity for some really valuable minutes here for guys like Brody Nunn to maybe score their first NBL points. Can't hit that time. Isaac goes down the floor to Bairstow. Time expires, and the JackJumpers return to form with a massive takedown of the ladder-leading New Zealand Breakers. It's a welcome home for Tassie, 83-64. A significant win in their season. They move to 4-8. The New Zealand Breakers to 6-3. That man, our footlocker player of the game. He had his hands full in the battle of the little big men. And Jordan Crawford came up big. 19 points, 8 of 13 from the field, 4 assists. And when they needed him, he stepped up in the biggest moments. A significant win for Tassie. They get it done by 19 points. We'll wrap it all up on the other side of this.
that feeling? I feel really just to be back in front of you guys. We miss you guys.
Big win against a big team. You've got a few out of the squad. Now, what does that do?
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
For the Tasmania JackJumpers, it was first time in MyState Bank Arena in 34 days, and they celebrate with a 19-point victory over the formerly top of the table New Zealand Breakers. 83-64 our final score. Our match stats, Liam, paints a pretty picture for Tassie.
Yeah, it sure does. They were terrific.